Hello, my dearest Arthur and all my lovies. How are you today on this day that's going to be beautiful and sunny? Just a bit colder than yesterday, but that's okay. It is still winter. I have for you today, Goofy Takes Off, an adventure in Switzerland. And our pre-story picture. Morty and Ferdy hopped out of their horse-drawn sleigh just as it pulled up outside their hotel in Switzerland. They had been looking forward to their winter holiday in the snow-covered Alps for quite some time. "Uncle Mickey, may we go play with those kids over there?" asked Morty, pointing to some children who were building a snowman. "Sure," said Mickey. He turned to Goofy as the boys happily ran off. "They're certainly not wasting any time. Let's hurry up and check into the hotel. Maybe we'll have some fun in the snow before dinner." "Sounds good, Mick," Goofy said. Fritz and Margaret Strauss introduced themselves to Morty and Ferdy. "And this is our baby brother Hans," Margaret said as a small boy ran to join them. "I'm not a baby," Hans said huffily. "Right," said Fritz, smiling. "In fact, you're such a big boy you can help us build the snowman." Hans happily agreed, and soon the children were hard at work. Just as they were putting the finishing touches on the snowman, Mickey and Goofy came out of the hotel. "There's been a mistake," Mickey said worriedly. "Our room isn't available until tomorrow night." "But where will we stay tonight?" asked Ferdy. "You can stay with us," said a smiling man with twinkling eyes. "Papa," said Margaret. She turned it to Morty and Ferdy. "Oh, do come home with us. We'll have so much fun." "Thank you very much," said Mickey to Mr. Strauss. "If you're sure it isn't any trouble, we would love to stay with you tonight." Mr. Strauss led the group back to his house. Mrs. Strauss was happy to meet their guests. She quickly added 4 more plates to the table. "What a great way to eat," said Ferdy as he dipped his bread into a pot of melted cheese. After dinner, everyone drank hot chocolate by the fire. "There's a ski jump competition tomorrow," said Mr. Strauss. "Would you like to watch it with us?" "We would love to," said Mickey. "Then you'll see me," said Hans. "I'm going to jump the farthest," he said proudly. The whole family chuckled. "Oh, Hans," said Margaret, "you know you're much too little to go ski jumping." But Hans had already made up his mind. See him sitting at the table? He's mad. Everybody thinks he's too little. The next morning, everyone went to the ski area. While Mrs. Strauss went skiing with Hans, Fritz and Margaret tried to teach Morty and Ferdy how to ski. "Gorsh, Mickey," said Goofy, pointing at Hans skiing by. "Look how well Hans can ski. It doesn't look too hard. I think I'll give it a try." "It takes a lot of practice, Goofy," warned Mickey. "I've been skiing for a long time, and I'm still not as good as Hans." "I bet I can do it," said Goofy. "Watch this." He tried to ski down the slope, but he didn't get very far. Both his legs shot straight up in the air. On second thought, maybe I will join Morty and Ferdy's lesson. "I think that's a good idea," said Mickey. "I'll go catch up with Mr. and Mrs. Strauss." Fritz and Margaret were good teachers. In no time at all, Morty, Ferdy, and Goofy had learned how to ski by snow plowing, which is what beginner skiers do when they want to turn or stop. "Look at me," called Goofy proudly as he skied down the beginner's slope. "Now I'm ready to ski down from the top of the mountain." I don't think so, Goofy, said Fritz. The top of the mountain is only for expert skiers. Gorsh, don't worry, said Goofy confidently. I'll take it nice and slow. Soon Goofy was sailing through the sky in the ski lift. He looked down and saw Mickey with Mr. and Mrs. Strauss and Hans. See you later at the ski jump competition, Goofy called. I hope he knows what he's doing, said Mickey to the others in a worried voice. Hans waved to Goofy. You'll see me at the competition, he thought to himself. I'm going to be the winner. Goofy finally arrived at the top of the mountain. He skied over to the start of the slope and looked down. Gorsh, he said. It sure looks steep. Maybe I don't belong here after all. But before Goofy could change his mind, he lost his balance. Suddenly, Goofy found himself heading straight down the slope. Whoa! He shouted. Where are the brakes? He was going so fast he couldn't control his skis. Watch out! He yelled as the other skiers scrambled to get out of his way. Somehow, Goofy managed to stay upright as he plunged down the mountain. Little by little, the trail became less steep. As Goofy slowed down, he found himself heading toward a little village. I must have skied right out of the ski area, he thought. Maybe I'll have to ask someone how to get back. Goofy came to a stop in front of a chocolate shop. A woman standing in the doorway saw Goofy's puzzled expression and asked him if he needed any help. I'm supposed to be at the ski jump competition, said Goofy sheepishly. Do you know how to get there? Oh, yes, said the woman. As a matter of fact, we're giving a box of chocolates to the winner of the contest. Would you like to try one of our chocolates? She asked. Goofy took off his skis and followed the woman into the shop. Then he took one of the chocolates. Gorsh, he said, this is the best chocolate I've ever tasted. Yes, Switzerland is known for its fine chocolates, the woman told him. She gave Goofy directions to the competition. Goofy tried to follow the directions, but in no time at all, he was lost again. This time finding himself in front of a store that sold clocks and watches. Goofy took off his skis and stepped in the front door. Can you tell me how to get to the ski jump competition? He asked one of the workers. Certainly, said the man. In fact, the winner of today's competition will be presented with one of our beautiful watches, he added proudly, showing Goofy a pocket watch. Goofy looked at the time. Oh, no, he exclaimed. I'm going to miss the competition. If you hurry, you can still make it, the worker assured him, and gave Goofy directions for a shortcut. Goofy skied to the edge of the village and looked down a steep hill. There's the competition, he said. I think I can even see Mickey. As Goofy leaned over for a better look, he felt himself losing his balance. Before he knew it, he was sailing down the hill. Here I go again, shouted Goofy. At the competition, Mr. and Mrs. Strauss and Mickey met up with Franz, Fritz, Margaret, Morty, and Ferdy. Where's Hans? Said a concerned Mrs. Strauss, asking the children. He told us he was going to ski with you for a while. Fritz and Margaret looked at each other. We haven't seen him since this morning, said Fritz. Mickey was also worried. Goofy should be here by now, too, he said to the others. But while Goofy was plunging down the hill, Hans was headed up to the top of the ski jump. Once everyone sees what a good skier I am, they'll never call me a baby again, he told himself. Hans sneaked in behind one of the ski jumpers. He was just about to take off down the hill when he heard a familiar voice calling, "Help!" What's he doing? Hans thought as he caught sight of Goofy skiing out of control. Somebody needs to save him. Hans didn't hesitate. He left the ski jump quickly and headed down the hill. In no time at all, Hans was skiing alongside Goofy. "Boy, am I glad to see you!" Goofy shouted. Hans did a snowplow turn. "Turn your skis like mine," he called to Goofy. Goofy did it as Hans told him, and he began to slow down. Everybody in the ski area watched in amazement as Goofy and Hans arrived safely at the bottom of the hill. The Strauss family and Mickey ran over to them. "Are you all right?" Mr. Strauss asked Hans and Goofy. Goofy grinned. "We're fine, gorsh," he said. "Why, little Hans here saved me in the nick of time." Hans frowned at Goofy. "You shouldn't have been on that trail," Hans told him. "You could have hurt yourself." "Gorsh, Hans," said Goofy, "I'm sorry. I guess I just wanted to prove to everyone that I was a great skier, but skiing is sure a lot harder than it looks." "Hans," said Mr. Strauss, "what were you doing at the top of the mountain?" Hans looked down sheepishly. I guess I made a mistake too," he said, "but I just wanted to show everybody that I'm not a baby." "Hans," said Mrs. Strauss, "you're not a baby, but you're still a little boy, and Goofy is just learning to ski. In time, you will get bigger, and Goofy will become a better skier. You both have to be patient." Just then, the judge of the competition rushed over to shake Hans' hand. "You're a real hero," he said. "Not bad for a little boy," Fritz said, winking at his brother. Then everyone laughed as they walked back to watch the ski jump competition. Did you know? The Swiss Alps are a part of Europe's highest mountain chain. Swiss people enjoy skiing and bobsledding on these beautiful snow-capped peaks in winter and climbing and camping on them in the summer. St. Bernard dogs have been used to rescue lost travelers in the Swiss Alps for centuries. The dog's sharp sense of smell can even help them find people who are buried under the snow in avalanches. Fondue is a favorite Swiss dish made of melted cheese in which pieces of bread or vegetables are dipped. These bowls sit over a flame that keeps them hot. People pop the cheese-covered bread in their mouths. What a delicious treat. Swiss chocolates are among the best in the world. The Swiss make hundreds of different types of chocolate, and almost every Swiss town has at least one chocolate shop. Yodeling, yodeling, is a popular kind of Swiss folk singing. Yodeling probably grew out of Swiss farmers' cattle calls hundreds of years ago. The yodeling sound is meant to imitate a voice echoing off a mountain wall. A favorite Swiss game is Hornüssen. This game is similar to baseball, but there are some big differences. Instead of a bat and a ball, the batter uses an 8-foot-long club to hit a wooden disc. The disc is caught by players with wooden rackets. Skiing is a popular sport in Switzerland. Many Swiss children learn to ski about the time they learn to walk. German, French, and Italian are the official languages of Switzerland. Each is spoken in a different region of the country. Romansh, the fourth national language, is actually spoken by only a few Swiss people. Guten Tag, Hallo, and Ciao all mean hello in Switzerland. And that is our book for today. Hope you enjoy. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.